Hello everybody. So we are going to be taking some notes today on the kinematic equations. So the kinematic equations are four sets of equations that describe the relationship between displacement, acceleration, velocity, and time. And we can only use these equations though if we have a constant acceleration. So we can only use them under certain circumstances. The acceleration has to be constant. Now, these equations are named based on the variable that they are missing. So they're all related to each other in some way, shape, or form, but each equation has one missing variable. So the nice thing is, though, you don't need to know displacement and time in order to figure out velocity. As long as you have acceleration, you're okay. So it's a useful way to find missing information if we don't know all parts about an object's motion. The note A formula says that D is equal to 1/2 V subscript I plus V subscript F times T. So 1/2 of the velocity initial plus the velocity final times time. The note F formula, so this is when we are missing final velocity. This one, though, is another one we can use to solve for displacement. So I take the initial velocity times the time, and I add that to 1/2 the acceleration times time squared. So don't forget that pesky little square there at the end whenever we're using this formula. No t, so I can use this formula to solve for distance, initial final velocity, acceleration without knowing any time involved. The no t formula says that the velocity final squared is equal to the velocity initial squared plus 2AD, so 2 times acceleration times displacement. And then the no D equation. So this is when we're missing how far something travels, but we know the initial and final speed, and we know time, and we know acceleration. This one is set up to solve for velocity final. And so velocity final is equal to velocity initial plus A times T. So these are four kinematic equations. These two are set up to solve for distance. These two we use, they're set up to solve for velocity final. However, I could use this formula here to solve for time if needed. But right now we're just going to start off with plug and chug problems while we get used to these four. So the next few days, the only types of problems that you're going to see are going to be asking you to solve for displacement or final velocity. And then once we feel a little more comfortable with them, we might have a little fun and start trying to solve for time or initial velocity here and there. So that's it for this video. I'm going to make another video to do the next couple practice problems. So if you're interested in listening to a practice problem, if looking over the notes it doesn't quite make sense, then go ahead and look for that video. It'll be attached with this one. Have a nice day, everybody.